everybody, this is Victoria. Welcome back to another new episode of Discovering Art Together. Today we are going to learn about something super fun, getting a little bit dizzy though, but we're gonna be okay because we are learning op art. So we're gonna check in and see what in the world is op art. We're also going to learn some cool, interesting, and important things about op art, and we'll also learn specific characteristics. Also, learning who created op art and some of the famous artists that are renowned for doing really cool op art and bring this to the world. So if you guys are ready, let's get started. So the first question here is, what in the world is op art? And what does op art actually mean? Op art is short for optical art, an art movement that emerged in the 1960s. It is characterized by the use of optical illusions, geometric patterns, and precise arrangements of colors and shapes to create artworks that appear to vibrate, move, or deceive the viewer's perception. Have you seen an optical illusion before? Well, op art works in a very similar way. Artists use shapes, colors, and patterns in special ways to create images that look as if they are moving or slightly bit blurry. Now some cool, interesting, and important things to know about op art. In the 1960s, the term op art was coined in 1964 by Time magazine to describe work that relies on optical illusion. It has a strong relation to geometric design, originally produced mostly in black and white, but later in vibrant colors. Why did artists create artworks like this? Well, the op art movement was driven by artists who were interested in investigating various perceptual effects. Some did so out of sheer enthusiasm for research and experiment, some with the distant hope that the effects they mastered might find a wide public and hence integrate modern art into society in new ways. The main goal of op art is essentially based on the principle of optical illusion. Far from representation, op art does not aim to depict but create an illusion. The play with geometric forms and colors can be so convoluted and sophisticated that looking at the piece of op art can be slightly bit dizzying. And we might as well be asking, what does it feel like when we take a look at op art artworks? The effects created by op art range from subtle to the disturbing and disorientating. Op painting used a framework of purely geometric forms as the basis of its effects, and also drew on color theory and the physiology and psychology of perception. It just feels really dizzy after looking at this, so I am not a big fan of this though, but it is still very, very cool. A really cool thing that makes op art design really interesting is distorting the viewer's perception of motion, depth, and form by emphasizing discordant figure-ground relationships. The most iconic example of op art rely on high contrast black and white lines and patterns composed with mathematical precisions. Did you know, according to experts, optical illusions help you to make your brain sharper? They also make you think hard about how a certain thing is possible, leading you to understanding the working of the human brain and how interesting it is. It also actually helps understanding the difference between looking and seeing. So that's pretty cool. So let's all do a little bit of brain exercise and get a little bit dizzy together, shall we? Now let's get to more of the important parts here. What are the main characteristics of op art? Number one is abstract patterns composed with a stark contrast of foreground and background. Number two is often in black and white for maximum contrast. And number three is to produce effects that confuse and excite the eye. I had a really interesting question when I was looking at op art, and I was wondering, is op art only in black and white? Let's find out. A lot of op art features geometric shapes and lines in black and white or vivid colors. Op art is done in black and white only, and also using certain color combinations because of their relationship to one another produces a certain effect on the eye. The color relationships are simultaneous contrast, successive contrast, and reverse contrast or assimilation. Now, another question that popped up while I was researching about op art is, what's the difference between op art and pop art? These sound quite similar, don't they? Unlike pop art, which drew on imagery from popular culture, op art, on the other hand, was a style of abstraction that relied on geometric shapes, lines, and color juxtapositions to create optical illusions for the viewer. They are two completely different things. So, who in the world created op art? A French-Hungarian artist called Victor Vasarely is best known for his prominent role in establishing the art movement known as op art or optical art. He is often referred to as the grandfather of op art. Now let's take a look and see who are the famous artists from this art movement. First we have Victor Vasarely, or Victor Vasarely. He is best known for his grid-like paintings and sculptures of the 1960s onwards, which play with the reader's sense of visual form by creating illusory, flickering effects of depth, perspective, and motion. Next we have Bridget Riley. Riley became an icon not just of op art, but of contemporary British painting in the 1960s, and she was the first woman to win the painting prize at the Venice Biennale in 1968. Riley's innovation in art inspired a generation of op artists. We also have Frank Stella. Stella's method of working systematically in a series emphasized his problem-solving approach to painting. He arranged flat color fields into repetitive geometric patterns and created all-over non-illusionistic surfaces. His logic, control, and extreme reductionism prefigured minimalism. That's pretty cool. Okay, we have also Carlos Cruz-Diez. Carlos is an artist and color theorist. He has been widely recognized as one of the most representative figures of the kinetic art movement, which took hold in Europe in the mid-20th century. We also have Jesus Rafael Soto. His work is often associated with Venezuelan op art because the serial geometric forms of his paintings of the 1950s bear an affinity to works from that later movement. By 1957, Soto had moved towards a more gestural abstraction, but by 1965, he had returned definitively to a geometric idiom. Now, you guys can go ahead and check out this video over here or over here to learn about the art movement that came before op art, which is called Abstract Expressionism. Thanks again so much for watching, and I hope you guys learned something brand new about op art. And if you just discovered about op art, I am really happy that I got to introduce you to this cool art movement. and looking forward to sharing more of these. So please make sure to click the like button and also click the subscribe button to get the latest episode on when a new episode comes out, and to learn more about art history and a lot more about art. And if you got any questions, please do comment down below and let me know what you love about op art and some cool interesting things you've learned about it. I would love to know, so make sure you comment down right below. Thanks again for watching, and I shall see you in the next episode. Stay creative, have fun, happy drawing, painting. Till next time, bye!